it belonged to him. A couple of minutes later, and a second wolf appeared. This one was the female, and she had pups in a den. After a brief look at the pup, we knew we had to break camp as the wolves would not go in the den while we were around. Over the next several days, we moved on down the river as if we were turning pages in a book. Just as each page reveals something new, so did each turn in the river. Our rafts became our observation platforms. The river's flow rate was high, which carried our rafts along with ease. The caribou were everywhere and seemed to enjoy watching us as much as we enjoyed watching them. It became easy to feel comfortable with the routines of wilderness travel. Unloading rafts, setting up camp, and packing up in the morning is the token effort necessary to enjoy such a place. Each encounter we experienced with a grizzly was inspiring, and this was our fifth. During lunch stops, we would go for hikes out in the tundra, which always brought more caribou into view. The weather continued to improve, and it felt good to bask in the warming sunlight. Even the muskox seemed to enjoy the warming temps. Most of them were never in a hurry. We couldn't help wondering what these two said about us. Once camp was set, there was always time for personal matters. All of our meals were delicious and creative. Our favorite for breakfast is a Canadian tradition called beaver tail, a floured fry bread smothered with honey, and they are good. By our 8th day on the Burnside, we were nearing the Arctic Circle. The river was dropping up to 15 meters per kilometer. Critters were constantly in view, and the weather continued to warm up. Our crossing the Arctic Circle was rewarded with numerous opportunities for wildlife viewing. Most of the animals we encountered seemed unafraid of us, with the exception of a rare and brief glimpse of a wolverine. He was heading for the hills.
See something moving with a white circle on his back right up the rocks? Yeah.
A short distance past the Arctic Circle, we stopped to explore an ancient tent ring site.
So this is a perfect example of a kayak stand, and if you turn and you orient yourself, you'll see two pairs of rocks that are often paired up in a bit of a V, and once you get in the right line with them, you can see that you could perfectly fit a kayak in between them. And they would use this because they had skin boats, and they needed to keep them up off the ground so that they wouldn't get rot from damp ground or anything like that. So there's quite a number of these scattered all around. And as well, there's quite a few oval tent rings, many of them that are quite large, that have dividing lines through them that would separate their eating and their sleeping areas. And there were two big waves of people that came, they believe, that came through here, the Neo-Eskimo and the Paleo-Eskimo. And another subdivision of that then would be the Dorset and the Thule.
Walking among the tent rings, we noticed tiny Arctic flowers emerging from winter sleep. The tundra was beginning to turn green.
Are you gonna eat it, Kit?
Yep.
Okay.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
That's
purple.
the juice.
Our next campsite had a front porch view of the river that was magnificent, so no time was wasted setting up the tents. We woke up to short sleeve weather and set off for the surrounding hills for a day of hiking and climbing, and the views were spectacular. Why walk down when you can slide?
You'll notice who's getting the short end.
It felt good to unwind at the end of such a beautiful day, and our guides led the way. This might have been the first fashion show on the Burnside River.
Of Duffin Boys in 1924, I beat old Harry Redford by 1,000 head or more when I
A good story is a fitting conclusion to a memorable day on the tundra that will not soon be forgotten.
Smaller towns and took him down to Melbourne. But on stock exchange advice, I drove him on to Launceston and got a better price. Now, I see you want to interrupt, and I know what you want to say.
Our final day on the water proved to be the most exciting. The current was powerful and was pushing us relentlessly towards the sea. You could actually see the fall in the river. Occasionally, the rafts would get too close together. As the river picked up speed on its inevitable journey to the sea, it became very clear that we would be treated to an unforgettable ride.